Hey friends, this is Garrett from Gear Glasses and Gadgets, and today we're going to talk about the Sony A9. So is the focus right on my face, and my face is lit up white.
Is he all framed up?
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization. Every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, every saint and sinner in the history of our species.
We are here today at Classic Trilogy Tattoos, and if you need a Star Wars tattoo or any other tattoo, this place,
all things nerdy.
All things nerd. This is,
this is the Mecca. Make your track.
It is amazing, and
it's Star Trek.
Exactly. And Tom here is also featured on the new season of what's it called?
Ink Master.
Ink Master. So definitely check him out. So by now, everybody knows that the Sony A9, you know the specs, you know that it's ridiculously fast for sports photography. We know it has a new battery, dual memory card system, but I haven't seen any reviews yet for video. And as our professional business, we do shoot video. I would say 80% of our business is just video. So I thought it'd be interesting to do a review on the video aspects and why we really enjoy using the A9 for shooting video, even though it's not really designated a video camera. Sony's really pushing it to be photography, sports photography, wedding photography, things like that. I've shot about 6 or 7 projects with it now. When I first started shooting with it, we pulled in some clips, and I was really concerned with the video clips that I was getting. My blacks were just really crushed, and I was losing a lot of detail. But after I brought it in and started working with it and applied some S-curves to it, the detail in the blacks just come to life. So I was really happy with that. Autofocus system is probably its biggest standout feature as far as I'm concerned. Most of the times when we're shooting projects, I manually focus everything. The biggest and most stressful part of a wedding for me is the walk down the aisle, especially with the bride. And manually focus the bride's coming towards you is a pretty tall order for any camera, and especially those bridesmaids that are practically running down the aisle. As you can see here, and I'll post a few clips, I think we've shot 5 weddings with it, and it has nailed focus coming down the aisle every single time. So one of my favorite features right now with the A9 that the A7S II has, but it's called the daylight screen mode, I think is what it's called. And the A7S II has it, but when you shoot in 4K, it disables it. So it actually dims the screen on the A7S II. So if you're outside, it's kind of hard to see. With the A9, it goes into full daylight mode in 4K, and it is just a beautiful thing. And also, to go along with that, is the internal EVF viewfinder is almost 4K resolution. So if you have a little eye cup and you put it on there when you're outside or anywhere, you can really preview your image and see it in its all its glory on that internal viewfinder. It's really a nice feature. While we're talking about the screen, a friend of mine and Sony artisan, Mark Weisberg, brought this to my attention. But there's a new feature on the A9 that, it has on the A7S II and a lot of Sony cameras. They have that little sensor on the back of the camera that when you pull it up to your eye, it's supposed to turn off the LCD and turn on the viewfinder. And it does do that, but sometimes when I'm trying to be incognito or do some street photography or just shoot from, holding the camera down low, it automatically triggers that feature when I didn't want it to be triggered. So on the LCD screen of the A9, when you pull it away from the body of the camera and hold it down low, it doesn't accidentally switch over to the viewfinder and black out your screen. So if you're doing some, incognito shooting, if you're holding the camera down low, and like I wear a black shirt a lot, and sometimes on some other cameras, it would automatically trigger that. If you pull the screen out, you don't even have to enable the feature. You just pull the screen out and it leaves the screen on. It's just a nice little addition. The battery life on the A9 is phenomenal. The new battery system is just, I don't know how to say it, it's great. It's more than double the capacity, not almost, it's double the capacity of the older style batteries, and it has made my life just so much easier because I don't have to take, normally I would take 6 to 8 batteries to a wedding. Well, now I use, I think the last wedding I used 2, and it was a shorter wedding ceremony, but the full Catholic Mass weddings, I use 3 batteries the whole day. I have 4, but I've never yet used all 4 on a wedding day, so it's just a really nice system. Very thankful to have that in our arsenal. Slow motion. Now I know the A7S II has 120 frames per second, but it's, in the menu, or you have to assign it to one of the memory recall on the dial there. On the A9, it has a slow and quick on the dial already, so it's like a one little notch away. You just click it over and you're good to go. And at 120 frames, I wish it was 240 frames per second, because we do have the FSM 100 that does that, and I fell in love with that. But at 120, it's a really nice option to have. When you're recording in 120, you don't have to slow it down in post. It does. Oh, that's a good one. Thanks, Tom. It automatically slows it down for you, so when you bring it into your editor, it's already ready to go.
The Majestic Schnauzer. Its literal translation, snouter, is a beautiful dog breed that originated in Germany in the 15th and 16th centuries. The term comes from the German word for snout and means colloquially mustache. This because of the dog's distinctive bearded, majestic snout. They are protective, energetic, and will alert members of the household to any potential danger. Although its watchful nature can lead to persistent barking, to avoid this, owners should make sure have every effort to curb the excessive barking through training. This breed is of above average intelligence and can be independently minded, so early training and diverse daily exercise is highly recommended. Have you a Schnauzer today? No? Maybe you should. Maybe you should find one. Maybe you should go right now. No. Really, get up. Go find one and pet one. You have never experienced anything like this. Mustache.
Now, the form factor of the A9, I'm actually a fan of. I have pretty big hands. And the form factor is a little bigger, which I'm sure has something to do with the bigger batteries, things like that. But I like it because when you're shooting video, especially, to have more camera to hold on to keep it steady when you're shooting handheld, it is nice. It's crazy that they gave us so much more in this body with the dual card slots, the bigger batteries and such, and the body is, as you can see here, almost the same size. I mean, it's a little bigger, but it's still nowhere near some of the larger DSLR style cameras. So yeah, I'm a big fan of it because it's just easier to hold on to. Now, a feature I didn't think I would care for much is the joystick. But yeah, the joystick is really cool just to be able to move that focus point around. It does have a touchscreen. I honestly haven't used it yet at all. I've never been a huge fan of touchscreens, and I did like it on the A6500 to be able to touch the screen and move your focus point. But now with the joystick, I haven't even tried using the touchscreen. Maybe I should. I may love it. I don't know. But they did include that because a lot of people said, "Hey, it's a touchscreen world. Let's move to touchscreen." So it's there if you need it.
In Oshkosh, Wisconsin at the EAA AirVenture Air Show, and we met up with our friend Mr. Robert Evans, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the A9 and his experiences with it.
So of course this is something different than I normally do, out of my element, but I do like shooting action in sports, and I've shot air shows before, and I've been here a couple days already, and I did get a chance to shoot not only a day air show but the night air show, and that's really what I was looking forward to shooting, so that I could shoot the camera at a high ISO, so I could at least have a 500th of a second to stop planes. And they do a really cool air show here where they shoot fireworks off planes. They have LED lights, and it really performed well. I got a lot of really great fun stuff. Of course, I'm here and I haven't had a chance to look at it on a computer. Cue the fast airplane. So when I get home, I'll definitely go through my images and pull out some of my favorites, and I'll share them with Garrett and Amber so you can see what I did.
Yeah!
Photographer camera?
Well, for weddings, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, that's what I do, that's what I'm known for, that's what I use it for. I really liked it because prior to this, I was shooting kind of 3 cameras at a wedding. I was shooting an A7S II. I like the high ISO, but I also like the 12 megapixel file because I don't believe that you need like a huge file for a wedding.
Right.
I did shoot a little bit of my A7R II. Maybe for bigger groups, bride and groom portraits, just so that I have the ability to crop in if I wanted to. And then when I wanted speed, for the couple walking down the aisle or maybe during dancing, I would shoot my 6500. So now it's kind of the best of both worlds, so it's kind of wrapped all into one, with a 24 megapixel file, a little bigger than I need, but it's perfect because I still have that ability to crop in. I have the speed at 20 frames a second, and I have the high ISO. So I mean, you can, and it's all rolled into one. And of course, the battery's now lasting a lot longer. I can shoot an entire wedding on one battery. Well, I have a vertical grip, so I have two in the vertical grip. So I put those in there, and that pretty much gets me through a whole wedding.
The autofocus, again, it's one of my favorite features. I love this camera for that reason. And with video, it's really, really good. Works really well. With almost 700 phase detection points. And it's not just the fact that there's so many of them, but they're so fast. But shooting these planes and jets, I mean, it doesn't get any faster than that. Actually, I took the A9 to a former groom of ours who runs a martial arts studio in Indianapolis and did a lot of shots with him, and those turned out great. And you know, that's really fast. He had nunchucks going around, but we took it out to Oshkosh where we had, you know, jets flying hundreds of miles an hour, and this camera just kept up with them, and we were able to bring home some really great imagery, some video that I may have not been able to get with another camera, but because it was so good with the autofocus system, you know, trying to pull focus on a jet coming towards you or flying by you, I don't have that kind of talent, but I can just turn on autofocus and, you know, select what zone I wanted to choose, and it does just a fantastic job.
We're gathered today, just as we have gathered before, to remember those who served. Those who fought, those still missing, and those who gave their last full measure of devotion for our country. However imperfectly pursued, the cause of freedom, and they showed uncommon courage in its service. For your devotion to America, I salute you. Take what they have left and what they have taught you with their dying, and keep it with your own, and take one moment to embrace those gentle heroes you left behind. I see Vietnam veterans take their rightful place among America's heroes and know how much we owe them, how much they've given us, and how much we can never fully repay. And not just as individuals, but as a nation, we say, welcome home.
So I've been asked, would I purchase an A9 over the A7S II? Budget be damned, yes, I would, because there's so many new features with the battery, the autofocus system, the dual card slot, just a lot of new things that I really love and I wouldn't want to do without. I'm going to stick with the A9. I'm very hopeful to see what Sony's going to do in the future. Maybe they're going to have an A9S. I don't know what they're going to do, but moving forward, I would love to see something like the A7S II and the A9 body, form factor, batteries, things like that. So yeah, I really enjoy this camera. Alright guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch our video. If you would, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. That'll really help us out. And then
May the Schwartz be with you.
Schwartz Force, both of those.